Hey guys, I'm here with Chris. Chris owns this 60, if you can call it a 60. Let's talk about it, mate. What do we got?
What do we got? We got a 60 series cab sitting on an F350 chassis with a Cummins 600 horse, 1300 foot-pound of torque.
Have you done all this yourself?
I have.
True. And where have you done all this? Where are you from?
I'm from the Goldie.
Yeah.
So just did it in a little storage shed.
Yeah. And this is registered?
It is registered?
Yeah.
Yep.
And how long has this car been like this for?
Started building it 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Took 2 years to build it,
Yeah.
and so it's been on the road for 4 years.
True. Yeah, right,
Done 30,000 k's, been to the Cape and back.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So you drive it, how often would you say? Do you get out of the shed much?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, cool.
A lot.
Yeah, right. So you say it's an F-truck chassis?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
And where was the inspiration? Did you have inspiration for this, or how did this come about?
Love 60s
Yeah.
and been a 60 fan for ages.
Yeah.
So had a 60, but they're just a little slow. And as much as they're nice and they're good, I just like a little bit more go.
100%. So you got to do this. You got to. There's no other way around it. Yeah, right.
Seemed like the logical thing to do.
Yeah, true. How much? Did you say how much power this was making?
Yeah, 600 horsepower
600 horsepower
Yeah.
at the wheels.
at the wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 700
And
something.
are these
at the moment.
35?
Yeah, 35s.
Yeah, right. And this is so it's F-truck chassis, F-truck diffs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and so it's 12 inches higher, but there's no lift in it.
Gotcha.
So stock springs, stock mounts, stock everything.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So you can put 3 inches in it if
Yeah.
you want to.
And you knocked up the bar work. You did everything.
Did everything.
Fair
Everything.
dinkum.
Made the front bar. Just made everything.
Yeah, right. Is there much going on in the interior? Is it pretty stock?
Hopefully
or?
it's stock.
Yeah, right. Let's go have a look at the interior.
Yeah.
We're inside the big girl. Tell me a bit. So did you have this car as a running, driving 60 to begin with?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was my third one. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I specifically brought it for this project.
Gotcha.
So I brought the running, driving one and drove it around for a year as a 60.
2H?
No, 3F.
It was 3F.
Actually,
yeah,
it was
right.
a 3F because it was about the cab, and I
Yeah.
found that petrols have better cabs than what diesels do.
Yeah, right.
And I think it's because wives, mums had them, kids picking up still, parking them in the car park.
I haven't heard that theory. That's
That's
good.
the theory
Yeah,
behind
no,
it.
I hear it for sure.
So I've tried to keep inside as stock and as
Yeah.
stand as I can. I got
Yeah.
the shifters back in the same position.
Yeah,
That was a struggle with this one, but
yeah.
Yeah.
If I just woke up right here, right now, I wouldn't know that I was on an F-truck chassis and everything. Like,
and that's what I wanted.
yeah.
I wanted to sit and drive in a 60.
Do you tow with us?
I haven't yet,
Yeah, true.
but it will tow whatever you want.
Oh, no doubt. Rip the skin off a custard, I reckon. Yeah. Yeah, right. So it's like you haven't really done anything to the interior then, eh? Yeah.
No, haven't. It's only just got a player put in.
Yeah.
That's it. EGT gauge instead of the clock,
Yeah.
and that's it. And that's boost. That's fuel control.
Yeah.
You can turn the power down because driving 600 horse around is fun, but you don't want it all the time.
No, it's probably not economical.
Funnily enough, it's not too bad.
True.
Yeah. So been to the Cape and back in it, and it averages around high 15s.
Oh, right,
High 15s, 600 horse, and that was 4-ton driving.
Is that the pattern still? Is it
Yep.
5? Yeah, true.
So exactly the same pattern. It just worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
cool.
so that was really
What was
good.
the hardest part of this entire project for you? Was engineering all good?
There wasn't any hard part.
Yeah.
Honestly, there was nothing that was a struggle with it.
Yeah.
There was just time to do it all.
Yeah.
I've just refreshed the manifolds and I've made all the manifolds. So I learned how to TIG weld.
Yeah.
But as in the car point of view,
Yeah.
it all just worked.
True.
It's amazing how well this thing
Did
worked
you say
together.
2 years to build this?
2 years to build it.
Yeah, right. How many hours were you putting in a week? Like, were you upper or?
A lot.
Yeah.
You
Lost count.
Yeah, I don't know. I worked on it every
Yeah.
day.
So the Effie Dome, was it a Dome? Was it a complete running car?
Again, brought a complete running car.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then pulled it apart.
Yeah.
And the only thing I used on the Effie was the chassis rails.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because I brought a 2-wheel drive Julie.
Gotcha. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Righto, so I had to construct the front end on it, had to do
Yeah.
everything. In
Yeah.
hindsight, buying a 4-wheel drive one would have worked better.
Yeah.
But there's not too many 4-wheel drive 350s.
So it's
around.
not your first car you've built.
Yes, it is.
Fair
Yes, it
dinkum.
is. First car.
Heard it here first. Yeah, right. Had me fooled.
I'm a glazier.
Fair dinkum.
I'm a glazier.
Yeah,
I'm not
right.
yeah.
Are you going to paint the thing? I see a bit of paint fade and stuff.
It's
or-
a good question. I don't know. It's called a mongrel because it's 3 cars put together. And I don't. If I make it beautiful, I won't want to drive it.
Oh, I hear, mate. I hear. That's the
like
truth.
I've done the engine
Say
bay
it
and
loud.
I'm like scared to start it, and I don't want to be like that to drive.
Yeah,
it.
like first time you get on a dirt road, you kind of just like, you don't feel good about it.
There you go.
I hear you. Yeah.
So I'm thinking of clearing the bonnet back up. I'm waiting for that bonnet to get rid of all the clear off it, so I
Yeah.
can just clear it back up. But
Yeah, right.
I'm sort of thinking no.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it as it is.
Righto. I love the interior. Let's have a little bit more of a look around this thing.
Solar on it. I'm not a solar fan.
Yeah.
And drawers. Get rid of the drawers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down around the rear end of the big FE60 contraption. What's going on back here, mate? You made up the rear bar then?
Yep, made up everything. So rear bar, front bar, did all that. Just sheet and welded it up, fitted it in. All these toe points are bolted, sandwiched to the chassis, so they're solid.
Yeah.
Yep, thing.
It's hard to miss that diff under there. Wow. Do you reckon you'll have any dramas clearance-wise, like if you were to go bush bashing in it, or like because you have gone up the Cape?
Yes, I've been up the Cape. Haven't had any
Haven't
issues.
been hung up. God, that's a big diff.
Haven't been hung up with it at all.
Yeah, right.
So when I made it, I measured all the Land Cruiser stuff that I had, and that was the minimum that I could go.
Gotcha.
And I then made sure everything was higher than those numbers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So these are 10 stud then, because you've got the FE.
8 stud.
8 stud, yeah,
8
right.
stud. Yeah.
So do you have dramas getting rims for them? It was pretty straightforward. You do have
It
dramas.
was straightforward. There was one rim and it was in black.
Yeah, right.
That was it.
That's what you're getting. Yeah, cool.
Didn't even get a choice of colour.
Yeah, right. If you were to go back in time, you were starting this build, what would you do differently, if anything?
Yeah, there's one thing I'd do differently. I had a choice of buying a 4-wheel drive F250 at 17 grand, or I brought a 2-wheel drive F350, which was cab chassis at 3 grand.
Gotcha.
If I went back in time, I'd buy the 4-wheel drive one.
Gotcha.
Purely because it took me a year and a half to learn how to do suspension and diffs.
I hear it. Can I ask a personal question, mate?
Please.
What did it cost you all up?
Okay.
You don't have to answer because it's
No,
a
no.
touchy subject for some people.
No, I'm fine with that. So as it sits here, camping gear, everything in it, about 45.
Oh, laughing. Yeah, right.
But 4,000 man hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't count the hours or you'll cry.
Yeah. So actually shelling out money. And that, the 45 involves buying 2 cars and importing a motor and box from the States.
Mate, I reckon you're laughing.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So there's some big chunks in there, but the rest of it's just
Love the
motor.
truck, mate. Fantastic. Thanks
Thank
heaps.
you. Thanks for
Cheers.
your time.